I remember traveling in the wild, uneconomical regions which were drying out under the scorching sun. We heard the sound of drums, whistles, and flutes in all of the towns and villages. In these regions, it was a means of healing the people bitten by the tarantula. We saw a young man affected by the disease. He seemed to have become insane, singing absent-mindedly to the beat of the drum, while his arms and legs and the entire body moved in beat with the music. The tarantula bites on the tip of one's ear because the tarantula bites one sleeping on the ground, and the wounded parts become black 3 days after. Being obliged to play the fiddle in order to cure them, an old woman presented herself to me to do the good office, who sang in such an unintelligible voice that I could not form an idea of it. Ja, ja, ja. Began to move accordingly and get up as quick as lightning, and seemed as if he'd been awakened by some frightful vision, and wildly stared about, still moving every joint of his body. But as I had not yet learned the whole tune, I left off playing, not thinking it would have any effect on the man. But the instant I left off playing, the man fell down and cried out, distorted his face, legs, arms, and every other joint of his body, scraped the earth with his hands in miserable agonies. I made all the haste I could to learn the rest of the tune. The instant he heard me, he stood up as he did before, and danced as hard as any man could do. Very wild. He kept a perfect time, but had neither rules nor manners, and jumped and ran to and fro, made very comical postures. The people cried out, faster, faster! At last, after 2 hours of dancing, fell down quite motionless, and I gave over playing. The people took him up and carried him into a house and put him in a large tub of tepid water, and a surgeon bled him. He was let blood in both his hands and feet, a great quantity of blood. All the world knows how wonderful and various the effect of motions are. Generation, corruption on all sublunary alterations are the product of motion. Whatever lives, whatever grows, and whatever undergoes the sensible mutations of life and destruction is in perpetual motion.